When I first stepped into room 313, it felt like the ground vanished beneath my feet. The air inside the room held a strange kind of stillness, the kind you only feel in graveyards. The door shut on its own, and for the first time I felt as though I might never make it back out. Every wall seemed to speak in its own language, but those voices weren't human, and the mirror, it wasn't showing me, it was showing someone else. The chill in the room wasn't from any air conditioner, it was the coldness of death. We've created this video with great effort and heart, so if you enjoy terrifying, mysterious, and true horror stories, be sure to like the video and don't forget to subscribe to our channel, British Hauntings, because your one click could take us deeper into the darkness, and from there, stories come back, but people don't. Now get ready, because we're about to enter room 313, a place where time stops and reality turns into a nightmare. I never believed in ghosts, not really, until I checked into room 313. It was a late October evening when I arrived at the old brownstone hotel in Manhattan's West Village, an elegant aging structure nestled between boutiques and bakeries, the kind of building with creaky floors, brass knobs, and too much history etched into the wallpaper. I was in the city for work. My usual hotel was overbooked, and this was the only vacancy nearby. "We only have one room left," the receptionist said, without making eye contact. "Room 313. I laughed. "Is that supposed to scare me?" She didn't laugh back, just handed me the brass key, yes, an actual key, and whispered something I didn't quite catch. It sounded like, "Don't stay past 3. The elevator shuddered as it climbed. By the time I reached the 3rd floor, the hallway was dim. Dust floated in the air like tiny ghosts. Every light flickered like it was trying to warn me. Room 313 was at the very end. Its door was darker than the rest, paint slightly peeling, the brass numbers uneven. When I unlocked it, the smell hit me, faint but distinct, old wood and something else, something metallic. The room was fine, outdated, sure, green wallpaper with gold vines, a chandelier that looked like it could fall at any moment, and a tall mirror with cracks running like veins through the glass. I tossed my bag down, loosened my tie, and collapsed onto the bed. That's when it began. At first it was subtle. The temperature dropped. A soft tapping, like fingertips on glass, echoed from the window behind the curtains. I got up. No one was there. The window was locked from the inside. I laughed it off, blamed the city, the wind, my nerves. But then the mirror. I saw it, not a reflection. A figure, standing behind me, still pale, watching. I spun around. No one. The room was empty. But in the mirror, he remained. A man, mid-30s, wearing a black suit, soaked in something dark. His eyes, hollow, skin sagging as if he'd been underwater for years. He opened his mouth in the reflection, but no sound came out. Only blood leaked from his lips. I turned the mirror to face the wall, but then came the scratching. Inside the walls, like nails clawing to get out. I ran to the hallway. No one. I knocked on the neighbor's door. Room 311. No answer. I knocked again, louder. Then I noticed. The door had a metal plate over the peephole, and below it the word, "Condemned." I went back into 313. My phone was dead. No signal. Even the landline hummed with static. I tried to leave, but the door wouldn't open. The lock turned, but the door wouldn't budge, as if something heavy was holding it shut. And then I saw the man again, not in the mirror, but in the corner of the room, standing, real. Wet footprints stretched from where he stood to the bathroom. I blinked. He was gone. I pushed against the door with all my strength. It flung open like something had finally let go. I didn't wait. I ran, down the stairs, out into the street. I returned the next day, in daylight, just to convince myself it was a dream. But there was no room 313. The hall ended at 311. I asked the desk clerk, the same woman from before. She stared at me like I was mad. "Sir, we don't have a room 313. Haven't for years." I swear I stayed in that room. I saw him. I heard him. Later I found an old news article in the library archives. 1974, businessman found dead in mysterious drowning incident inside room 313 of West Village Inn. No signs of forced entry. Room sealed off permanently due to unexplained occurrences. If you're ever in New York and someone hands you the key to room 313, don't take it. Don't open the door. And for the love of God, don't look in the mirror. I didn't sleep that night. The image of that man, drenched, lifeless, standing inches away, haunted my every blink. And the article, no signs of forced entry, drowning in a room with no bathtub. I wasn't imagining things. The next day, I returned to the New York Public Library, determined to know who he was. The archived article listed only initials, J.L., aged 34, cause of death, undetermined, body found lying in the center of room 313, lungs filled with salt water. Salt water. There's no ocean anywhere near that hotel, not even a saltwater pool. I spent hours searching old microfilm records. Then I found it, an obituary. Jonathan Leeds, investment banker, divorced, known drinker, went missing for 2 days before being found in his hotel room. But one detail caught my eye. The coroner's note, barnacles, in a Manhattan hotel room. This wasn't suicide, and it wasn't natural. Something called him, dragged him out of time, out of logic, into something else. And now it was calling me. That night, I dreamed of water, not oceans or rivers, but a hallway, submerged in black, still liquid. I was walking through it, slow, weightless. Light fixtures swayed above me like jellyfish. And then I saw them, faces pressed against the wallpaper of room 313, screaming, but no sound, only bubbles. One face looked like mine. I woke up gasping, my apartment floor wet, not damp, soaked, footprints, bare, dripping, leading from the front door to my bed. I didn't run, not this time. I followed them out of the bedroom, into the hall, to the mirror. Yes, I kept it. The cracked mirror from room 313. I don't know why. Maybe to remind myself it was real, or maybe because I couldn't throw it away. But this time, it didn't just show him, it showed them, dozens of them, men, women, children, all behind the glass, all underwater, all looking at me. And in the center, Jonathan Leeds, smiling, as he mouthed 3 words, room 313. The next day, I broke the mirror, smashed it into pieces. Blood ran down my hand, but I didn't stop until it was dust. But it didn't help, because now I don't need the mirror to see them. They're everywhere. Reflections in windows, ripples in puddles, even the static on my screen, if you stare long enough, shows their faces. And at night, I still hear the knocking, soft, measured, always at 3:13 a.m. They want me back. I think I left something behind in that room, or maybe part of me never left at all. I tried to leave New York, pack my things, shut off my phone, booked a one-way flight to Denver, but the city wouldn't let me go. At LaGuardia, the terminal monitors flickered. My flight number vanished, replaced by 3 numbers glowing white on black. 313. The gate agent called me up. Sir, you've been reassigned. I didn't argue, didn't even speak, but when I looked at the boarding pass, no destination, just a seat number, 13C. I tore the pass in half and walked straight out of the airport. The subway was my last resort. Just vanish into the city, take the train as far as it would go. I rode the one train south, eyes shut, fingers trembling on my lap, but when I opened them, every ad poster in the carriage was the same, a photograph of an old hotel door, room 313, and written beneath it, scribbled in dripping black ink, "You're already inside." I stumbled out at Franklin Street Station. I don't know why. I wasn't planning to, but my feet moved like they remembered something. I didn't. It was raining, hard and cold. Each raindrop stung like needles against my face. I walked 6 blocks before I realized where I was going. Back to that street, back to the brownstone hotel. But it wasn't there. Where the hotel had once stood was nothing, just a chain-link fence and a vacant lot overgrown with weeds and scattered debris. I stared at it, frozen. Had it been demolished, or had it never been there at all? But then I heard it behind me, the soft chime of a brass key hitting pavement. I turned. It was there, lying at my feet, the key to room 313. Still warm, I picked it up, and when I looked back at the lot, the hotel was there again, old, weathered, just like before. Except now, all the windows were dark, except one, room 313, a dim orange light flickering behind the curtains, like it had been waiting. I walked inside, no one at the desk, no one in the halls, just the sound of water dripping somewhere deep inside. The elevator was broken, so I climbed the stairs. Each step felt like sinking deeper into something that didn't belong to this world. Like time had folded in on itself, like I was walking into memory. me. Room 313 was at the end, same as before, but the hallway was longer now, much longer, like it had no end. The door looked older, rotten around the edges, but the brass numbers gleamed freshly polished. I didn't knock. I turned the key, the lock clicked, the door opened, and inside it wasn't the same room. The walls were damp, covered in black mold. The chandelier hung from a chain, spinning slowly. The mirror was back unbroken, shining in candlelight. And on the bed was me, lying there, eyes wide open, mouth agape, skin pale, lips blue. I was dead. I tried to move, but my body didn't respond. Tried to scream, but no sound came out. The room swallowed everything, and then he stepped forward. Jonathan Leeds. His hand reached out, not with violence, but with pity. He whispered, "Now you understand. You never left." The door slammed behind me, the lock turned itself, and I knew room 313 doesn't just haunt you, it becomes you. And one day soon someone else will check in, ask for a place to stay, and be handed a brass key to a room that doesn't exist. They say ghosts are just echoes, memories stuck in time, but room 313, it doesn't echo, it replays over and over. 2 months later, East Village, New York City. Jenna Monroe had never believed in urban legends. She was a travel blogger, young, bright, rational. Her brand was truth. She exposed myths, debunked haunted hotels. She'd even stayed alone in the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. Nothing had scared her. So, when her followers dared her to find room 313 in New York, a place she'd never heard of, she took it as a joke. But the comments kept coming. "It's in West Village. If you find it, don't open the mirror. Check in, but never past 3:13 a.m. At first she laughed, but then the ads started. She wasn't even searching for it yet. Every time she opened her phone, there it was. A grainy photo of a hotel door, the number barely visible in the dark. She finally found the address, an old, half-erased listing buried on a ghost hunting forum. No website, no phone number, just West Village Inn. Ask for the room that doesn't exist. It felt like content gold, creepy, atmospheric, click-worthy. She went the next day. The hotel was exactly where the post said, sandwiched between a boarded-up bakery and a fire escape overrun with ivy. No sign, no lights. She hesitated, hand on the door, then took a deep breath and pushed inside. The lobby was dim but intact. Faded red carpet, dusty portraits, a front desk, and a woman behind it, motionless, silent. Jenna cleared her throat. "Hi, I need a room. Just one night." The woman didn't blink, then slowly slid a key across the counter. Brass, old, cold to the touch. No words, just a tag. Jenna smiled nervously. "Is this part of the experience?" No answer. She turned and walked toward the elevator. The doors were open, waiting. As she stepped inside, the lights flickered. One floor blinked brighter than the rest. She pressed it. The elevator groaned and rose. When the doors opened, she stepped into a hallway that felt stretched, too long, too silent. She counted each door as she passed. 307, 309, 311. The door looked out of place, like it had been painted over dozens of times. And still, something bled through. She hesitated, then lifted the key, turned it, and stepped inside. At first, it looked normal. Old, yes, outdated, musty, but nothing supernatural. She filmed her intro, walked through the room, showed the cracked wallpaper, the chandelier, the antique mirror above the dresser. But the mirror, something was off. It didn't reflect the room exactly. In her screen, she could see herself, but behind her, a man, soaked, watching. She spun around, nothing there. She turned back to the mirror, now empty. Her smile faded. Okay, that's actually creepy. She stopped recording. Then came the dripping, soft at first, then louder. From the walls, from the ceiling, from the floorboards beneath her feet, water, cold and black, seeping in from nowhere. She backed away, turned to leave, but the door wouldn't open. She pulled, yanked, nothing. Then the lights went out, and in the mirror he appeared again, but this time closer, behind behind her shoulder, whispering something she couldn't hear. Then, suddenly, the video on her phone played by itself. The clip she had just filmed, but now it was different. There was someone else in the footage, lying on the bed, not her. A man, face pale, mouth open, eyes wide, dead. The screen glitched, and from the speaker, a voice whispered, "Help us." Jenna dropped the phone, ran to the bathroom, flicked on the light, and froze. Scrawled on the mirror in water, "You're not the first. You won't be the last." She turned slowly, and in the bathtub, something was rising. Something gray, bloated, eyes open. Jonathan Leeds, smiling. Outside, on the street, the hotel vanished. No one remembered it. No one spoke of it. Except for Jenna's channel, one final upload, posted automatically, titled only, Room 313. Last entry. Views, 313,000. Comments, disabled. Mira Langston was 16 when her brother disappeared, David Kessler. She remembered the late-night texts, the blurry screenshots, his excited voice, over the phone, saying, "This is the one. Mira, I think I found it." Then silence. No goodbye, no clue, just vanished. The police said he went to New York and never checked into his hotel. But Mira knew. She'd seen the video. She wasn't supposed to. It was taken down, scrubbed from Jenna Monroe's channel, only hours after it was uploaded. But she saved it. Every frame burned into her memory. David in that room. David whispering, "It's not a story, it's a door." And at the end, just before the static, his eyes staring straight into the lens, as if warning her or asking her to join him. October 31st, 3:13 a.m. Mira sat alone in her room. The power had gone out 20 minutes ago. She hadn't moved. A single candle flickered beside her laptop. No Wi-Fi, but the video still played, not from her hard drive, not from the cloud. It was just there, on screen, room 313, empty. Then slowly, the door creaked open, and someone walked in. Not Jenna, not David, her Mira. She stood, breath caught in her throat. She wasn't recording herself. She wasn't live, but the girl on screen wore her hoodie, her hair, her face. She watched as her digital self walked into the room, past the mirror, and turned toward the bed. Lying there was David, eyes closed, sleeping or dead. The girl reached out, touched his face, then looked directly into the camera and whispered, "It's not over." Mira's candle went out. Her laptop shut down, but the screen didn't go black. Instead, words appeared, etched across the darkness in a faint, glowing white. Room 313 awaits. You've seen it. Now it sees you. Final upload. 1 week later, a new channel appeared on YouTube. No profile picture, no name, just one video. The L video shows a hallway, silent, flickering, endless. At the far end, a door. Room 313. No footsteps, no music, just a heartbeat. Slow, louder, faster, until the very last second. The door bursts open, and inside, not a room, not a person, but a mirror, facing the viewer, and in the mirror, your reflection. This is the end of the story, but not the end of room 313, because you watched, because you know. And room 313, it doesn't need an address anymore. It only needs a screen.